dating market is fucked. I mean, you're right to feel frustrated about it. You're probably capable of being a good person, being a good provider, but of course it doesn't really mean anything, does it? Like, dating has always been superficial. With the importance of appearance, you know, we judge every book by its cover to assume its worth, but dating apps have definitely made this a lot worse. It feels really unnatural, the fact that we have to put ourselves on a profile like some product on a page, and even more unnatural, the fact that we have to become numb to rejection to have any sort of success. And I know most of you aren't asking for some huge body count to become accessible to achieve, that you just actually want a genuine connection with somebody. But what now? Where do we go from here? Stay where you are and lead down the path of an incel? That's obviously not an option. That's not productive. You do need to keep pushing. Fortunately, there is a path forward. It doesn't have to be as hard as you think. We're going to go over that, as well as when to know if you should focus instead on yourself or your career, as well as a mindset that has helped me avoid loneliness and just find somebody special that I care a lot about. Now, if you knew what you were capable of, I promise you it would blow your mind. I see it all the time for guys who are actually committed to put in the effort. They create a plan to rework their appearance, and they actually follow through afterwards with going out and talking to women. But a critical skill that virtually no guys have is the ability to view yourself objectively. It's actually, unfortunately, been backed up. Men perceive their own attraction level higher than what others perceive it as. So we can't really see what others see, and that's a huge problem, especially as I bet 95% of guys aren't anywhere close to maxing out their looks. So first, put an actual dedicated effort towards improving it. Get some help if you can afford it, but otherwise there is a lot of information online that can push you in the right direction. I have a recent video that can help you as well. Next, what about not dating? Just focusing on yourself, putting all the dating crap to the side and just becoming a better person. I mean, that is a fantastic idea. I'll go into in a moment why it's not always the case, but at the end of the day, like, you have, at the bare minimum, if you're wanting an 8, it doesn't matter how highly you think of yourself, at least on the surface level, you have to be an 8. That's where your expectation, actually your expectations should probably be a bit lower. If you're an 8, I know I'm generalizing here, then go for 7s kind of thing, especially with dating apps, because it's so competitive and it's purely judged based on appearance. I mean, if you're a cold approach, that can almost, if you're confident enough and you can have your personality actually shine through, that can almost work in the opposite way, but I'm getting way off track here. But I remember wasting a lot of time in my 20s. I first tried going hard into football. That didn't work. I got injured, but let's be honest, I wasn't really going to make it anyways. Then I tried to go back to school. That didn't work out. I floated around to a bunch of different jobs, which of course is pretty typical of your early 20s, but I really hated the fact that a year would pass by and literally nothing would change. Nothing. And what I liked most about the gym and working out was that if I happen to continue to fumble my life, at least I know that I will be a little bit stronger and a little bit bigger as each year passes. So I do suggest, at a minimum, that you do have those types of habits set, even if you do want to focus, hard on dating or your career. But there is one very strong reason why you should focus on dating first. And that leads me into the mindset. So I remember my first breakups, and damn, they were so hard. Like, it was very motivating, but that's not like in the worst way possible. Like, that's not a good motivation. That's like your body's like, we can't be in this position again. This is horrible. We have to do something about it. And my lack of wisdom, I guess, I just started going for runs. So like, I had to sweat it out. I don't know if I had thought, because I wasn't going to the gym at that time, as if this was going to make me physically much more attractive. I don't know. But after the second breakup, I was a lot smarter about it. I realized a part of why breakups are so hard is the fact that you don't know when you'll meet somebody new again. So you stay with people because it's easy. They're your only option, even if things aren't going well. So I made sure, no matter what, going forward, that I at least have the capability of meeting somebody new with relative ease. I downloaded all the apps, even paid for the premium versions, and spent 20-30 minutes a day just messaging women. And through a lot of trial and error, I eventually started getting some dates set up. And eventually after that came the second dates, once I didn't scare them away, and meeting girls that liked me and that I genuinely liked as well. So what's the mindset, and what's the reason to focus on dating first? Well, I committed myself fully, which meant I sacrificed a lot of other things going on in my life at the time. And I went on like 40 first dates in a little bit over a year. But even if that took me 2 or 3 years, it's a very small cost for the peace of mind, the permanent peace of mind that allowed me to develop. So comparing that to your career, your work, whatever, your business, whatever it is, it could be a lot quicker. But the main thing is, and I don't know, how I ended up developing this mindset, but I always valued experience. Experience is like, you hear it with everybody saying this with just about everything, that you got to put the reps in, you got to fail at it. But honestly, that's it. I mean, I know a lot of you, okay, like you would love to be able to get 40 dates in a year, and there's going to be a bit of time before that where you need to put in the effort with your appearance. Maybe you're overweight, but there is always a path forward. We're always on different paths ourselves. The amount of steps that you have to take towards accomplishing something that you want is going to be either, less or more than other people. That's irrelevant. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it really is all about experience. And if you can view it like that, and that experience is the linear path to success, then you'll be good. Then, I remember actually like just messing up some dates, and like I was like happy, or I won't get into it all, but just like some very obvious mistakes that I made. And it was just like, you know what? I know I learned stuff. Even if you can't like pinpoint what you learned, it's like there's always subconscious things that you're picking up and you're improving and you're getting more comfortable, and you just see it. There's so much going on in the background, whether it's on dates or even just texting somebody. And if you can just view experience as the entire way to progress things, you'll be in such a better spot. So your goal always has to be, for lack of a better word, the skill. It can't be circumstances with things working out with one individual girl. You will develop a maturity, confidence, and assurance in yourself that really only comes from experience. It's wild how many of you are going through the same feelings, the same emotions, the same struggles, yet as men, we generally keep this stuff to ourselves. So do share whatever it is that you're dealing with. It helps to have friends and others as support, and especially during breakups. It is hard out there, I know that, but it isn't as hard as you think. And even if I'm wrong, which maybe I am, there's still no scenario that you're better off holding resentment and anger towards women. Recognizing reality for what it is important. All the brutal and harsh and unfair aspects of it, but it's for the sake of better navigating it. But anyway, we're in this together. Keep your head up. Peace.